Another interesting clip that I actually didn't cover from the David Pakman, Dave Rubin interview. We have otherwise extensively covered this interview. It was quite lengthy. I forget exactly how much. It was probably like an hour or 50 minutes or something like that. And we have done quite a bit of segments on it. But what you're going to see here is basically proof that you can have a small business and not even understand basic, economics about, or taxation in this case. Because basically what happens is David Pakman is kind of breaking him down, saying, hey, have you moved to the right, which he obviously has. And he says, I've moved a little right on taxes. Bullshit, you've moved huge if you claim to be a classical liberal. But anyway, so what you're going to see here is Dave Rubin not understanding what David Pakman is saying and then shoving it off. So just check out the video here.
I know this as a small businessman now. If I had been being taxed higher right now, I had massive capital costs to build this studio and do all this stuff. By the way, I pay 100% of my employees' health insurance, 100%. I also give, my director gets a cut of our YouTube rev. I do all the things. I try to put my beliefs into practice.
But that's the confusion for me, Dave, because those capital expenses are tax deductible. So if the tax rate goes up for you as an individual, if you've got pass-through income, or for the business tax rate, it doesn't matter what the business tax rate is if you want to spend money on capital, because you don't pay taxes on that. Actually, it encourages you to spend money on capital to have a higher tax rate.
Okay, so what you guys just saw is David Pakman tries explaining to Dave Rubin, because Dave Rubin says, I have huge capital costs for the show, which I'm sure he does. I'm not doubting that, right? But what David Pakman says is, hey, you know what? He says, if you have higher taxes, that is a further incentive for business owners to then take their money and to invest it in their business, which leads to hiring people, improving the studio, etc., etc. Because if you have a pass-through like an LLC, because you're a business, those are all pre-tax dollars. So what you do then is you take your pre-tax dollars and you spend it in capital costs, and that is it. If there are higher taxes, that is a higher incentive to then spend the pre-tax dollars on capital costs. And Dave Rubin doesn't seem to understand that. He can't understand it, and it's amazing to see that he doesn't understand this because he's a small business owner himself. So Sam Seder actually went after him on this too, so we're going to throw his talking about that in here too, so check that out.
And there are some things that Pakman says he agrees with Dave Rubin on. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he did say when Dave Rubin said, like, we need to cut taxes, and he said, well, you and I are both small businessmen, we could cut taxes, we could hire more people. And Pakman was like, well, I don't understand that. I mean, I assume that you have some type of pass-through vehicle, which is probably like an LLC or an S corp, and that that your pre-tax dollars, I mean, you invest. Your capital is all pre-tax dollars. In fact, if you had higher taxes, you would be more inclined to invest your money to drive your profits. And he was like, well, yeah, I just think the problem is that people come at you on Twitter and blah, blah.
You guys just saw Sam Seder breaking down Dave Rubin. And I think that Dave Rubin is not a very smart guy. I think he's still on vacation currently, but this was just truly remarkable to me. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.